Williams because, again, growing up feeling left of center to a lot of stuff that I saw on TV.
Ian was an up-and-coming artist with potential, but one misstep. His diss track aimed at Tyler, the Creator, ended up completely derailing his career. The rap game has always thrived on beef and competition, but not all diss tracks lead to success. In Ian's case, his attack on Tyler backfired in ways he never could have imagined. From a massive public backlash to burned industry bridges, here's how Ian's attempt at clout-chasing turned into career suicide. The origins of the beef. Why did Ian go after Tyler? For many fans, Ian's decision to attack Tyler seemed completely random. Unlike other high-profile rap feuds, there was no known history of personal issues, beef, or competition between the two artists. This raised the question, why would Ian target Tyler in the first place? Some speculated that Ian was trying to force a rap beef to gain clout. In the world of hip-hop, up-and-coming rappers often diss bigger artists to get attention, press, and relevancy. It's a risky move, but some have succeeded, like Machine Gun Kelly versus Eminem or Pusha T versus Drake. However, for this strategy to work, the diss track has to be well executed, based on real tension, and have some truth to it. Ian's approach was completely different. Instead of delivering a clever, hard-hitting diss, he attacked Tyler in a way that felt forced and unnecessary. Fans and critics immediately questioned his motives, leading to the first wave of backlash. Beyond clout-chasing, some believed that Ian was jealous of Tyler's success. Over the years, Tyler, the Creator, evolved from a controversial underground artist into a Grammy-winning, chart-topping icon. Meanwhile, Ian was struggling to gain mainstream recognition. Was this diss track a desperate attempt to pull Tyler down to his level? Regardless of Ian's reasons, one thing was clear. He had made a major mistake. The weakness of the diss, poor execution, and lame punchlines. If Ian wanted to take on someone as creative and talented as Tyler, he needed to come correct. Diss tracks in hip-hop history, like Ether by Nas or Back to Back by Drake, are respected because they are well-crafted, filled with strong punchlines, and backed by real grievances. Ian's diss, however, failed in every way possible. The biggest issue was that his lyrics were weak and uninspired. Instead of hitting Tyler with hard-hitting facts, Ian relied on lazy, outdated insults. He made fun of Tyler's voice, his fashion sense, and his weird persona, things that Tyler had already embraced and joked about himself. To make matters worse, Ian's flow and delivery were subpar. Fans expect a diss track to sound aggressive, confident, and impactful. Instead, Ian's delivery was flat and unconvincing, making it seem like he didn't even believe in his own words. The production was another issue. Diss tracks don't always need a high-budget beat, but Ian's instrumental sounded rushed and low quality, further proving that he didn't put much effort into the song. As soon as the track dropped, hip-hop fans roasted Ian mercilessly. They clowned his lyrics, laughed at his weak insults, and turned the song into a meme. Instead of building his credibility, Ian had just embarrassed himself on a global scale. The fan backlash. Tyler's Army Strikes Back. One of Ian's biggest miscalculations was underestimating Tyler, the Creator's fan base. Tyler has spent years building one of the most passionate, loyal, and active followings in hip-hop. His fans don't just support his music, they defend him aggressively whenever someone tries to come at him. The moment Ian's diss track went live, Tyler's fans went to war. They flooded social media with negative comments, ridiculed Ian's song, and even started a hashtag mocking his career. Some fans dug up old clips of Ian, exposing cringeworthy moments and embarrassing interviews. Things got even worse when Tyler himself responded in the most humiliating way possible, by ignoring Ian completely. He didn't drop a response track. He didn't engage in a Twitter war. He simply mocked the diss track with a sarcastic tweet and moved on. This was the ultimate slap in the face. In rap beefs, the goal is to get a reaction from the opponent. Instead, Tyler's lack of response proved that he didn't even see Ian as a serious competitor. The fan backlash didn't stop with just social media. Ian started to lose listeners, followers, and credibility at a rapid pace. His diss track had backfired completely, and he had no way to recover. Industry bridges burned. Major artists distanced themselves. Beyond the fans, Ian's diss track alienated him from key figures in the music industry. Tyler, the creator, isn't just a successful artist. He's also respected by producers, label executives, and fellow rappers. By attacking Tyler, Ian had burned multiple bridges in the industry. Many high-profile artists who once supported Ian or saw potential in him distanced themselves immediately. Nobody wanted to be associated with an artist who had just embarrassed himself on such a public level. Even producers and engineers started to reject his requests for collaborations. Ian had been working with top producers before the diss track, but after its failure, many stopped taking his calls. Labels also took notice. In the music business, labels invest in artists who are marketable and likable. Ian had just alienated one of the biggest fan bases in hip-hop and proved that he wasn't smart about his career moves. As a result, Ian's future opportunities in the industry started disappearing. The diss track had done more than just damage his reputation. It had killed his career prospects entirely. The streaming numbers, a temporary boost, followed by a major drop. For a brief moment, Ian's diss track dominated conversations on social media. His name was trending, reaction videos flooded YouTube, and his song racked up streams on Spotify and Apple Music. It seemed like he had achieved what he wanted: attention. But attention doesn't always translate into success. The reality was, people weren't streaming the diss track because they liked it. They were listening out of curiosity or to mock how bad it was. The more reaction videos tore into Ian's lyrics, flow, and delivery, the more people tuned in just to see the disaster for themselves. Memes about the song's cringe-worthy bars spread like wildfire, making it a viral sensation for all the wrong reasons. But just as quickly as the hype arrived, it vanished. The initial flood of streams collapsed, and Ian's song dropped off the charts. People moved on to other viral moments, leaving Ian's diss track to collect dust. Meanwhile, Tyler, the creator's music, benefited from the drama. Fans rallied behind him, streaming his latest album and defending him online. Ironically, Ian's attempt to tear Tyler down ended up elevating him even further, proving that in the music industry, clout chasing without talent rarely pays off. Label problems, losing support. From the industry before dropping the diss track, Ian had been making slow but steady progress in his career. He had label backing, a team of producers, and an upcoming album that could have been his big breakthrough. Executives saw potential in him. He wasn't a star yet, but he had a path to success. But when the diss track flopped, it didn't just damage Ian's reputation with fans. It also shattered the trust of his label. Record labels are businesses, and they don't invest in artists who are seen as a joke. The industry thrives on credibility, and Ian had completely lost his. Instead of proving himself as a rising star, he proved that he was immature and reckless. Almost immediately, rumors spread that his label was reconsidering their investment in him. Behind closed doors, meetings were held, and executives began distancing themselves from Ian's brand. They didn't want to be associated with an artist who had publicly embarrassed himself. A few months later, Ian's contract was quietly terminated. His album was shelved, his producers moved on to new artists, and the industry that once showed promise for him completely shut him out. The failed apology. Too little, too late. Once Ian realized how badly his diss track had backfired, he tried to fix the damage, but instead of owning up to his mistake immediately, he made things worse. At first, Ian refused to back down. He went on social media, claiming that he was just speaking his truth and that people were overreacting. He even took shots at fans who criticized him, calling them sensitive. This only fueled the backlash. making people even less willing to forgive him. When that approach failed, Ian switched gears. He backpedaled, saying that the diss track was just for fun and that he actually respected Tyler. But by then, it was too late. Fans saw right through his insincere attempt at damage control. His apology felt forced and the public wasn't buying it. Once an artist loses credibility in hip-hop, it's almost impossible to regain it. The genre values authenticity, and Ian had exposed himself as a fraud. He had insulted an artist far more respected than him, then tried to run from the consequences. In the end, his apology didn't repair his image. It only confirmed what people already thought of him, that he was desperate, inauthentic, and not worth taking seriously. The internet never forgets. The meme effect. One of the worst things about failing publicly in the digital age is that the internet never lets you live it down. And that's exactly what happened to Ian. His diss track didn't just flop, it became a permanent joke. Clips of his worst lines were turned into memes, edited into parody videos, and spread across TikTok and Twitter. Fans remixed his lyrics into hilariously bad edits, and reaction videos dissected every flaw in his delivery, making sure his humiliation lived on forever. Every time Ian tried to move past the diss track, the internet dragged him right back. Whenever he released new music, the comment sections were flooded with reminders of his embarrassing failure. Even years later, when Ian attempted a comeback, people still brought up the diss track, refusing to let him escape the past. In hip-hop, credibility is everything. Ian didn't just fail at dissing Tyler, he ruined his own reputation permanently. And once the internet decides that you're a joke, there's no coming back from it. The end of Ian's career, a cautionary tale today. Ian is nowhere to be found in the music industry. Once a rising artist with industry backing, he has now faded into obscurity, his name only mentioned when people bring up failed rap beefs. His social media following dropped significantly, and engagement on his posts plummeted. While he still tries to release music, no one is listening. His diss track against Tyler forever defined his career. Hip-hop thrives on respect and authenticity, and Ian lost both. No one wants to collaborate with an artist whose biggest claim to fame is embarrassing himself. Labels don't want to invest in an artist who can't recover from failure. Even if Ian wanted to reinvent himself, his reputation is too damaged to rebuild. The same internet that boosted him with viral memes also made sure he could never escape his downfall. Ian's story is a cautionary tale for up-and-coming artists. Diss tracks can make or break careers, but they should be done strategically. Ian's biggest mistake was picking a fight he wasn't prepared for, targeting an artist with a stronger fan base, critical acclaim, and industry respect. Instead of elevating his career, his diss track completely destroyed it. The lesson? If you're going to pick a fight, make sure you're ready for the consequences. In hip-hop, one bad decision can end your career forever, and Ian learned that the hard way. Now he's just a forgotten name in rap history.